Welcome back to Transformers Devastation. I'm waiting to see what we're doing. Oh, okay. Yes, so now the core has been patched and
the sakura blossoms are floating into the sky.
Sakura Blossoms are pink, dude. Those are purple. And they were also Insecticons.
Yeah, I mean, it was close enough that people could understand what I was trying to do.
Also, the Constructicons just put that in, and it's already not... It's already unstable. Just, you guys are called the Constructicons. Like, seriously, do a better job.
It's almost like if they didn't do anything, things would have been safer.
Well, no, we're not completely sure, but wow, Optimus, you're just seeing all that and you're just like standing there just like, I wonder what I should be getting for lunch tomorrow. Unleaded or leaded? Sometimes I need to treat myself.
Which one is being treated?
I was expecting you to tell me.
Yeah, no notable car junkie smears.
I mean, just you could have. I was expecting you to just like make things up and then have some weird reason as to why. Also, that section is technically really easy if you have any sort of patience, because I guess they're putting it in perspective for people who just think, okay, so let's just rush out of here because man, this time limit. Except the distance is, not actually that far, and the time limit is actually very graceful. Also, Wheeljack just says that if the core goes on for much longer, the planet's probably going to explode.
I mean, it's not Earth, so who cares?
I mean, they're on the planet, so I think they would care. Also, they kind of want Cybertron to not completely die. It's been a thing that they've been always wanted.
Do they know that the planet is a robot?
At this point, I don't know. Because it is a robot, but it's a magic robot. But I don't know if they think it's just a god, or if it's, actually like them in terms of actually the core of the planet. At this point, not sure.
Okay then, because I was thinking about that.
That puts something into perspective, because in Transformers, what was it? War for Cybertron, I think. Megatron infects the core of the planet with dark energon, so that he could technically control all the energon flow of the Earth. No, not of the Earth, of Cybertron. And so, automatically just be in control of how everything goes. But if he'd be like saying, I'm going to give a virus to God. If he knew.
Or more like Gaia.
Yeah. But it is, unlike the whole point of, okay. In Transformers Prime, Dark Energon is the blood of Unicron, which is basically the Transformers devil. But I don't know. I don't think they explicitly say it's from Unicron in the War for Cybertron continuity. And something weird about that is that they say that it's canon to the Prime series, that it's all part of one continuity. But I think they messed up with how they explained that. I think they should say that it's more in line with the Prime series in terms of how characters would be with each other and whatever, because it doesn't make sense considering the Prime cartoon. Starscream pulls off a major coup, and he gets punished in the second game for it, and nobody wants to listen to him after that. But then cuts to the show, and Starscream's in charge because Megatron seems to have died when and everybody's just like cool with it, somewhat. And Soundwave trusts him, despite the fact that Soundwave was the reason that Starscream was deposed in the game, and it just doesn't make sense at all. It's like they forgot their own plot point.
That's what happens when you have complicated lore.
Also, I think I'm either doing this really wrong or I just do not have the correct weapon for it. Again, playing this game, they expect you to play. It's almost like Devil May Cry / Bin. Well, no. Well, it's almost like Devil May Cry, where they expect you to use guns and swords in almost equal measure, when getting stuff for combos and such.
So you have to know what you're doing with everything at all times.
Well, I wouldn't say it's up to that level of precision. It's more like you need to constantly like switch on the fly to keep your combos going up, and also that gives you a whole bunch of bonuses, and it helps you. There are like a lot of bonuses that I miss at the end of the mission that are gun related, like headshots and stuff like that actually give a lot of points to the rank.
Yeah.
Either way, Soundwave is in control of the security now, and let's just say he's not happy.
Why wouldn't Soundwave be in charge of leaving? Like everyone else should leave.
Because they don't. Because the
dangerous.
Decepticons don't know that the core is going to kill them all.
Yeah, okay then.
Which brings up the point of, why don't we just tell them?
What I'm wondering is, they're seeing everyone run away though, except Optimus Prime. I don't think, oh, why is that happening? That's kind of weird, right, guys? You're running?
Or
weird?
Well, it could be. It could be one of those things, you know, where the bad guy's just like, Prime is finally learning to give up, or something like that. Love that move. Also, this is the one, like, I think the worst mission in the game. It's another It's another Protect Wheeljack mission. And this again brings up the fact that I don't know if giving the other Autobots weapons in the arc pause screen actually would help them here. It's not that they're ineffective. It's more like they're not effective enough.
Which sometimes feels worse because it's a so close, so far situation.
Yeah. And just, it gets worse when the snipers show up. To the point where sometimes I have to get in front of the sniper shots to try to just take the damage so that Wheeljack doesn't take the damage. And then they start introducing snipers with shields. And unless I either ground pound them or rush attack them, nothing is getting through those shields. And then they start sending suicide bomber Insecticons at the same time, and it's just... It's just... I think this is just a bit too much, but again, maybe it's because I just didn't outfit anybody else with any weapons other than the standard.
Are you saying a bit too much difficulty or content, as in like it's a bit overwhelming to follow?
It's too there's too much going on here. Well, I could say
to escalate things and up the ante.
Yeah, except that when I say there's way too much, it doesn't feel. I feel that it just barely passes the threshold for hard but fair. Just like that, I can manage this, but oh my gosh, the things that they throw at you with these people, with everything that you have to deal with, it's just a lot of management and such. But it's worse. The biggest thing, and the thing you should go for first whenever you hit the second or third wave, are the snipers. You leave them alone for any amount, and Wheeljack's health is just going to go down way too quickly for you to manage.
So it's a balanced fight then, that makes sense. They probably saw that health was going down too much. Or they probably couldn't prepare for someone who just stuck all of their sets into one person.
But, I mean, how hard would it be to... darn it! How hard would it be to do that? Like, there are achievements and such for just sticking with one person the entire time instead of just a matter of preference. And some people will just do it because that's their favorite Transformer. It's just a thing that people do. And there's an achievement. So you'd think that there'd be something in place.
Yeah, you have a point there.
Either way. I mean, if I was playing a Sideswipe, I guess, which he's the only case in this. Sideswipe has a quick I guess it counts as teleportation. He's more like he moves really fast in a small time frame. These guys, the snipers with the shields. But yeah, he can technically go like really quickly across the map. So if you're playing Sideswipe, then I guess this mission would be easier, but only with him. Which brings me to something. What if you were playing Wheeljack? I never thought about this, but what if you were playing Wheeljack up until the Protect Wheeljack missions? Would you just have to play as a...
You'd play as a different... You'd play as a recolored Wheeljack, yeah. Recolored Wheeljack.
No, I'm saying that would you have to play as a different character without the weapons you were using as Wheeljack? Because not every weapon works for every character.
Maybe they replaced Wheeljack with someone else.
That wouldn't make any sort of sense considering story narrative. There are only 5 of us.
So they replaced it with none of the other characters. They replaced it with Optimus Prime.
But I'm saying that Wheeljack has to be the one fixing the thing because he's the scientist guy.
Oh, so just we'd have a Ninja Turtles moment where just make someone else a scientist guy.
Well, no, that one situation was because Mikey has photographic memory, and Donnie already explained how the thing works.
No, I was just talking about how in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of them is the leader when they're not supposed to be.
Oh, that. Well, yeah, Raph is the leader because he's the oldest, but it's shown in the show and implied that he's not really like the best at it, and Leo could be the leader if he just applied himself.
So I guess that's going to be an arc.
Yeah, it's almost definitely going to be an arc. And I don't quite agree with the Nostalgia Critic about how they're all the same character and stuff like that. I just think that it's not for sake of comedy. They're all saying like specific lines, but you can still distinctly tell what type of character they are if you actually just watch a show normally out of the one episode. And to say that they're not super defined, it's like it's been one episode, man.
That's true. Plus, I don't know, all 4 of them being the same character doesn't... I mean, how distinct are they usually?
They're usually very distinct.
Okay.
But the thing is that they're all snarky in this continuity. It's just that they have different
is even April.
Yeah, they just have different type of snarkiness. But even then, they have different characters. Donnie is still the machines guy, and he's the tech nerd. But in this continuity, oh, bye guys. I guess I'm going on this ride alone. But yeah, in this continuity, he's the.
This feels like the final boss in Super Mario 3D Land.
Oh. Well, actually, yeah, the platform can be broken. You're supposed to stop that from happening. But, yeah, so he's more like the confident nerd. I don't see them like bullying him because he knows he's useful and he knows that he's capable. There's no There doesn't seem to be any, oh man, they think I'm just a nerd. It's like he seems pretty confident in himself. And Raph is almost like the jock older brother, but he's actually a nice guy. And Leo's basically he wants, unlike in other continuities where Leonardo is the responsible hero, or the one who wants to be a hero of justice in the case of the 2012 cartoon, he wants to be like a snarky the snarky superhero archetype. That's what he's specifically going for. So he has one-liners and such. He's basically Randy Cunningham.
I missed that show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
I should watch that show. But yeah.
And so that's interesting. And the only one technically that's undefined from what not as well defined from what I've seen is Mikey, which is ironic because, you know, he's usually the most defined. But he didn't get a lot of individual things in the first episode, so we just know that he's an artist, really. And he's more fun-loving, but that's what Mike is all about in the first place, so we could have, you know, assumed that to begin with. So yeah, I don't think that they're as cohesive is not the word. As I don't think they're as samey.
Cohesive is not the word?
It's not. I'm sure they're not as samey in character as the Teen Titans Go guys can be.
Alright, so what's going on right now?
Oh, Soundwave is trying to use the claw to try and destroy our cargo lift, which has a surprising amount of health. Usually these things are like super fragile.
Yeah, that's true.
That being said, I think
true,
something.
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
That happens, and he just. Okay, sure. Just another day for Optimus Prime.
Yeah, true. He doesn't seem phased at all, but that's probably because of the lack of emotions that can command this sort of thing.
Well, there are certain. Oh, right, this mission. There are certain continuities where, Prime, where it's said that like this, he suppresses his emotions for the sake of leadership, but at the same time he's still passionate about helping everybody and stuff like that. I forget, I think one continuity says that being a Prime basically demands that of you. Which...
So...
you say what you were saying.
I don't think I was going to say anything, so you're saying.
Okay. Of course, in Transformers Animated, he's way more... he's way more expressive.
He's way more animated?
Yes, he is. He's way more expressive. And, oh, it's bad! Did you see that awesome, just like, going into a super combo, dodging the lightning, then going into another thing? It's so great. But yeah, he's way more expressive. Maybe Transformers Cyberverse will have a similar thing. But Optimus Prime, like, put up the whole father figure kind of thing. Like, a lot of people would see him that way.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere with that.
I was, but I had a massive brain fart.
Cool. I also had one, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. And that's a very poor way to end this part, so let's find a topic and fast.
Okay, so it sucks that it turns out that the second Speed Racer incarnation, despite having the most rocking version of the theme song, actually sucks.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The version of Speed Racer that came out in the year 2000 or something.
Oh yeah, I think I remember Speed Racer X.
Yeah, I think that was it. But just like heard the opening, I was like, "Oh, this is the type of action pumped opening that I wanted." Go to the show, and turns out it really actually kind of sucks. And I don't remember how good Speed Racer: The Next Generation was.
I just know that Speed Racer the movie was fantastic.
Well, of course,
and
the ending, man, just. It's one of those things where I wish I was in the theater seeing it for the first time.
That's true, I agree with that. There are a lot of movies like that where it's just fantastic and the experience is helpful in enhancing things.
Of course, there's also the experience of being in certain kids' movies and where like characters die and you just wanted to see their reaction because of some weird sadistic part of yourself. But we already partially addressed that, and I don't want to go fully sadist here, so let's just end this part before it gets uncomfortable.